Should I start my own franchise in private care, or should I just start my business from scratch? You know what? Franchising is always a good idea. I think it's a good idea as long as the reputation of the company that you are franchising with, it has a good reputation, right? I mean, I don't think it makes any sense to franchise with a company that has predominantly negative reviews across the board. I don't think it makes sense to franchise with a company that is relatively new, hasn't really established themselves, a franchise that, you know, has poor leadership. I really don't think it makes sense to jump head into franchising. It might seem like the best option initially, because they're going to provide you with all the necessary documents. They're going to obviously help you with the application process. You're going to be able to use the credibility of their name, but what kind of name have they made for themselves? And I think depending on how reputable the company is, that comes with a cost. Might be somewhat stringent, because I know with franchising there will be certain policies, there will be certain rules that you would have to abide by. So that might not work for everyone, because you might want to have the freedom of doing things on your own terms, in your own way. For example, you're not going to go with a franchise and change your corporate color. You're not going to go with a franchise and change your ethos or change your slogan. There has to be some sort of continuity. So you're gonna basically continue whatever it is that they're doing. And if you're okay with that, then I would say franchising is good. Given that you're franchising with the right company, I would say it's a good go ahead. But make sure you do your research. You know what I always say, make sure that you're diligent. Franchising could be a good option. Another thing to consider, which is good with franchising, is that you're not going to go through the process by yourself. Typically, the people within the company will give you adequate support. But in the same breath, I've heard of a lot of franchising experiences where they paid a lump sum of money and they felt like the customer service was lacking, or they weren't given adequate support after the application stage. So just make sure that you're asking the right questions. Are you going to help me through the application stage? What does that entail? At what point are you guys going to leave me? Is there going to be a person or a department that I can contact as and when I need to? Are you guys going to help me with customers? That's a big one, because I know a lot of franchises will say part of this package is we will help you get your first customer. And when push comes to shove, no customers, you know, and they do not take accountability for that. So you have to make sure you know what's in your contract, so that if there's a contract breach, you know what steps to take. So yeah, franchising is a good thing. I'm not against it, depending on who you are, where you're located. Location is a big one as well. It could be for you, or you might just want to start your own care agency from scratch, something that you can pass on to future generations. You know, you built from scratch. I think there's a lot of honor in doing that as well. But yeah,